What is up, everybody? Tuboverse here today. Once again, Sony fanboys say the most dumbest things possible. So apparently, a studio, Lens Works, which are famous for making the Aragami and Aragami 2 games, are now closing down. And Sony fanboys are accusing this studio of closing down because the game was on Game Pass. Aragami 2 was on Game Pass. Now, this game was also on every other platform possible: Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, PC. You can even buy it you can buy it on Xbox and on Game Pass. So, but apparently Game Pass killed it, according to these Sony guys, Sony fanboys. So this is what the one clown says, the Sony prophet. This works. The studio behind Aragami and Aragami 2 have announced the studio will be closing. Aragami 2 was a Game Pass day and date title. Hashtag Xbox, hashtag Xbox Game Pass. So once again, blaming Xbox and Game Pass for this studio failing or closing down. That's one bad take. Another fanboy says, Aragami 2 launched on Game Pass. I guess the bag wasn't big enough for the studios to survive the development cycle of another game. Microsoft can't subsidize an entire industry through Game Pass. The numbers don't add up. This isn't the first and won't be the last studio going kaput. So once again, Game Pass, why did you kill these games? Microsoft, why are you killing games with Game Pass? Is what these guys are trying to say pretty much. It's like, really? This game was literally on every other platform. You can literally buy the game on PlayStation, on Nintendo, and PC. But Game Pass is the reason why it's dead. How does that make any sense to anybody? I just don't understand the logic behind Sony fanboys. But again, anything to blame Xbox or Game Pass. And Game Pass was supposed to be doom and gloom. Maybe the game just wasn't that great. Maybe people just didn't find the game to be that interesting. That can't just be the reason, right? It just cracks me up. These people will just say anything to say, hey, Game Pass needs to be stopped. Microsoft or Game Pass needs to be stopped at this point. I was like, yeah, that's the reason why the game died, because of Game Pass. As unfortunate as this is, this post is ironic because at least they were likely paid up front regardless if no one played the game in general and Game Pass. It released on other platforms, including PlayStation, so maybe you should point the finger at your other fanboys for failing to support the devs. Yes, they should point the fingers at themselves because, okay, you can say everyone on Xbox played on Game Pass, but what's the problem with the people on PlayStation? That the people on Sony, as the prophet says, didn't buy it? What are you talking about? So why didn't the PlayStation community buy this game and support the devs? Question everybody wants to know, since they seem so concerned about this game now, this company now. For a spoken studio closed, it was a PlayStation exclusive. What's your point? And that's even worse. Like, this was pretty much only on the PlayStation platform and on PC as well, mainly on PlayStation. And that studio closed because the people on PlayStation didn't buy it. Other than this game was literally on all platforms. Like, we could at least blame PlayStation for spoken failing. You can't blame Xbox for this game failing. So I see the PlayStation situation is way worse, in all honesty. Watching a pony try to connect the dots that don't mean what they think it means is awfully entertaining. Yeah, because they're just dumb. They think, hey, the game failed. It's because of Game Pass, even though you're like, hey, the game was on every other platform too, so that means that everybody else didn't buy the game either. So why just blame Xbox? Xbox gave us that's the reason why the game didn't fail. It doesn't make any sense. Grasping at straws at this point, anything to get the clicks, huh? You've earned the mute. Yeah, this guy's totally proving they're just idiots at this point. Where's the same energy from Xbox fanboys about the studio closing? They had a lot to say about the Forspoken studio being moved back to Square. Because once again, this is a completely different scenario. Once again, this game was on all platforms, which is like, the game failed. I mean, Sony guys didn't buy the game, or Nintendo guys didn't buy the game, or PC guys didn't buy the game in large numbers. Forspoken failed because PlayStation guys didn't buy the game at all. They hyped the game, but they didn't buy it. Two different situations right there. That's why the energy is not different. Because the energy is different right there. Forsaken wasn't in Game Pass. What happened there? once again, these dummies are saying, "Hey, I launched no Game Pass, and now the studio's closing. It must be Game Pass's fault." I'm like, you were just a dummy. Then I did a video about this too, about Forspoken being found in trash cans, which is just hilarious. The Game Pass effect is real. As we predict, the studios are being affected, and publishers are choosing to avoid the Xbox platform altogether. These guys are really stupid. These guys are really dumb. Like, what is this gonna do with Game Pass if this game is failing? Game Pass just ruins everything. And this guy says, "Are you stupid?" I'm starting to think these guys are legit stupid at this point. Like, they legit would turn everything to say, "Hey, our Game Pass just ruins everything." Apparently, Xbox and Game Pass are the cancer of the gaming industry, and this is another example. He's trying to say, we put evidence. Okay, well, when I see this, I think of Spotify and how it's been used by record publishers, Sony included. It's absolutely F over artists to the point that only one makes a living are top echelon sellers. Basically, less than 1% of all artists in the medium or in Spotify hasn't made a penny. Okay. Then he says, they called me a madman for this controversial statement. Game Pass is the Trojan horse sent to destroy gaming. I like how, like, maybe they called you a madman because your comments was stupid. Like, it just shocks me that this many people saying, "Hey, we blame this game failing because of Game Pass." Like, it can't be this many idiots. Like, just posting this dumb crap on a daily basis. Like, jeez. Another one says Game Pass is literally ruining the industry. Once again, I can iterate that you can buy this game on all platforms, but apparently Game Pass is the reason why this game is dead. It makes zero sense, but okay. Like, I'm trying to at least understand the logic here. I'm like trying to at least because there's too many comments saying the Game Pass killed this. I'm trying to at least get the logic, but I'm just not coming up with anything. Like, it just sounds extremely stupid, and most people are saying the same thing. So I'm just starting to say these people are grouped just a whole bunch of idiots at this point. Damn, it's sad that the studio is shutting down. Must be a dream to be doing your own thing. Hope everyone finds jobs. Yeah. Bro, this is the most disingenuous post I've seen from you. You're ragging in Game Pass when the game was multi-plat, and since most of you Sony simp crowds tour buying games, why didn't y'all buy it? Oh look, it's on PlayStation Plus, so Sony's cheating out too. Eligible. Poor Lunas also dissolved quiet though. Yeah. But Bot said these devs deserve to get enough cash to cover making the game and don't have to worry about sales. Maybe how the big money bag is tied to how many Game Pass subs download the game. Once again. Oh man. This would make you lose brain cells reading this nonsense. Apparently, Game Pass is to blame for this. Microsoft is the studio serial killer, RIP. Aragami 2 extremely underrated. The Game Pass effect. Wowza. Yeah, Sony fanboys got to be the slowest group of people on the planet at this point, because once again, the game was on all platforms, but we're only blaming Microsoft here. Only blaming Game Pass for why the game flopped. And once again, this is an indie studio. It's like, if they don't release a hit, the game's closes. It's kind of how this current market is in gaming. If your game really don't hit like that, you might not make another one at this point. So, and I don't think this game even had any hype like that. Like, I don't know. It's sad to see people lose their jobs, but at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna keep it real. I wasn't checking for this game, and it's obvious that most people weren't checking for this game. That's why the game flopped like that. Yeah, it's just stupid to blame Game Pass for you being essentially. Well, Game Pass is essentially just you renting a game on the service. It's like they were paid for the game to be put on Game Pass in general. So I think the people who are blaming Game Pass should probably blame themselves, because I don't think they bought the game either. Like, I don't think all these people saying, "Hey, Game Pass fault," probably didn't buy the game either. I was like, and I'm not gonna be shamed for but not buying a game I wasn't interested in. I was like, hey, it's their problem, not mine. It's like they sell the money from Microsoft to put the game on Game Pass. The people who really wanted the game a sequel for this game and the studio stay around. They probably should have bought the game, but more than likely they probably didn't because they cap for anything and everything, but they don't actually support the stuff in general. So yeah, I don't really know what to say about this really. If you want to see these studios last and these games to have sequels, you gotta support the games. And otherwise, as like if you got Game Pass, you're supporting these games because Microsoft was paying these studios to put the game on Game Pass. So like it's just dumb to say, hey, Game Pass is the fault why these studios go kaput. So that's all there is to say about this. So definitely share your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. Always thanks for watching, and peace.